Peace, everybody. I am the incomparable Red Fidel from Miami, Florida, by way of Opelika, and I'm on the industry's most wanted. You already know what it is.
Flawless. I'm looking for someone who's passionate, compassionate, a classy chick, minus any ghetto ratchetness and sassiness, one who knows image.
What's going on? It is your girl TampaMystic, and we are live and back with another episode of
Industry's Most Wanted.
Yes, sir. I heard we got Florida in the building. Red Fidel, what's going on, family? How you doing?
Wonderful. I appreciate you. Florida is in the building.
Listen, heavy in the building. I already know this is going to be a beautiful conversation when two Florida babies coming together. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
100%. You know, without giving them too much, give us a brief introduction.
Of myself?
Yes.
I'm like I said, I'm the incomparable Red Fidel, and I use the word incomparable because definitely there's none that can compare to me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and I'm from Florida, like I mentioned before, by way of Opelika, also Carol City. Those two boroughs I interchangeably was raised in, and yeah, I'm in the A doing my thing. You know what it is. You know, we Florida babies and we make moves, so that's what's happening.
Straight like that, most definitely. You've been in Atlanta for how long?
I came in 07, so I've been here. I've been here. I look great. What, about 18, 19, somewhere around there? Almost 20 years.
Man, that was a beautiful time in Atlanta.
Yeah.
07, 08. Beautiful time. Even the 90s up through the 2000s. Not to say it's not now. In comparison to when you first moved here till now, how do you feel about the city?
Well, I've seen a lot of changes because when I first moved here, I lived in the inner city of Atlanta, so I've seen how that progressed, and I seen the changes or whatnot. I think it has progressed in a good way. The city has grown. We got a large, diverse demographic that's in the city now, and I think that brings all kind of different flavors to it that actually adds to the complexion of it to some degree, space artistically, just in so many kind of ways, technologically. So I think it's great. I think it's great for the city.
Absolutely. Tell us the name Red Fidel. What does that mean to you?
Wow. Red Fidel is interesting because some years back, coming up in Miami, I actually went by another moniker. I used to go by the name of Jahala. And so I changed my name to Red Fidel. And basically what it is growing up in Miami, a lot of people used to call me Red all the time. I guess there's a light skin thing.
Yeah, you a red bone.
So a lot of people used to call me Red. That was just a thing. What's up, Red? And then I'm of Cuban descent. So, I kind of adopted the Fidel Castro aspect of it. I added that of it. So Red Fidel, and it just sounded good rolling off the tongue. I like how it felt, and it kind of embodied me. And I like the fact that it was kind of innocuous in a way that, I've been considered a conscious rapper coming up in the game. And I didn't really want that. I didn't want to be in that box, you know what I'm saying? So Red Fidel, you really don't know how I'm coming. I could be conscious, I could be whatever, I could just be me, and all the different morphs that I am. So
I love that. And in Florida, there's a heavy Cuban community out there. I know definitely in the Miami area, even up in Tampa, there was a lot of the job that I worked that I told you about. We had a lot of, Cuban young men that worked there. That is dope.
That's what's up.
What part of your family is from Cuba?
My father's side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my father's side is of Cuban descent, and my mother's Bahamian. So it's a melting pot of Islander rice and beans and cafe con leche.
I know you. Oh, cafe. We know about that cafe con leche.
Pigeon peas and rice. And all that type of stuff. Yuca and all that.
Man, so you grew up eating good.
Yeah, I did. And it's interesting because when I didn't know the real difference until I started going to my friend's house. Because that were quote unquote native to Miami or African American, the term they like to put on us. Yeah. And I was like, we don't eat that food. What's that y'all eat? I had never seen chitterlings before. Where they say chitlins. Certain things I never seen. I was like, nah, I ain't never eat that. But I realized, oh wow, we kind of have a whole different culture, a whole different delicatessen in how we eat. And I was like, that's when I started seeing the difference, because shit, we all look alike.
No, facts. Absolutely. So have you now tried chitlins?
Oh, I did when I was younger. My partners never, I would eat at their house. I tried it before, but
wasn't for you?
I grew up Muslim too, so it's like so certain things we didn't eat. But prior to me being really devout, pious Muslim, I tried it or whatnot, frog legs and all the different, exotics, and it's cool.
Do you fast?
I do.
Yeah.
I do fast.
Is it something you do on the daily, or is it something you do like, because I know in the Muslim community, they have, like Ramadan, where they will fast for long periods of time. Is that something that you do, or is it like short periods of time?
No, well, it's both. Come Ramadan, I definitely acknowledge and practice Ramadan.
Yeah.
But during the day, I do intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Intermittent fasting. Like right now, I'm on that right now.
I do 16/8 every day.
I do. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I even do 18/24. Yeah.
Yes, I think the longest I've ever went was close to 3 days with just water. I don't know. By that third day, I know I could have done it, but I was ready to eat by that third day.
If you would have surpassed that, you would have felt like a sense of invigoration that would have came to you. It's I don't know if I want to get too into that, but there's an etheric spirit that takes place with that starts to, you don't even think about the food from that standpoint no more.
Yeah. Absolutely, because I feel like not to get too much off on a tangent, but I like talking about this stuff because I'm really big on our health and our temple and take care of ourselves.
Likewise.
But it's like once you hit a certain time, your body goes into autophagy, where it literally starts healing itself.
It really does.
We can cure ourselves of everything through fasting.
It really does.
It's like if I found out I had a major health ailment, the first thing I would do is fast for a long period of time.
Exactly.
Man, that is dope.
Because a lot of times the ailment is in your body. So your body is trying to actually say, okay, something foreign is in here. Something's not right. Let me get rid of that. And if you just packing more and more stuff on top of it, your body has to now break down the food you're putting into it, which now is taking away the time it needs to address the ailment that was originally in it. So it's really deep.
That is, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Are you a good cook?
I'm decent. Yeah, I'm decent. Being a single pops, I had to really learn how to cook, for me and my son.
Understood.
So that took my skills up more than I actually thought I did. I didn't realize I was paying attention to my grandma and my mom and all of them and my pops, because my pops is a good cook. And then, it took on its own phase. So I actually like to cook. It's therapeutic.
It is therapeutic, and it's also can be like fun too, because you're trying out. I'm always trying out new recipes.
Are you? Same here.
All the time. Healthy versions of stuff.
Right.
Like during this time of the year, I like pumpkin everything, like pumpkin spice this, and so I made some pumpkin spice pancakes. But I buy like natural ingredients and stuff, because a lot of the stuff we buy that has all the preservatives and stuff in there.
Right.
So yeah, that is dope. I love it. And it is therapeutic, as in music is therapeutic as well.
For sure.
So let's walk through your journey. You've been creating music since the mid-90s.
Yeah.
That's a long time. First and foremost, you don't look like you could have been...
Actually before the mid-90s.
Really?
In Miami, it started in Miami when I was in high school. I had a record when I was in high school, when I was like 15, 16. I recorded a record that became a nice little hit in Miami. I used to play on the radio every day. Me and my crew was doing shows and stuff like that, and that's when the bug hit me. Yeah, I around 16, and I've been doing it that long. I never looked back.
So I feel like that was one of the... Man, what a beautiful time to be alive.
Yeah.
Living in Florida in the 90s. All the great music that was coming out of there. Of course, shout out to Jam Pony DJs, Jam Pony Express.
Yeah.
Boy, I used to be at the flea market waiting for that new mixtape to drop.
Lock Cool Job, Big Ace.
All of them.
Vic.
Man, what a time to be alive.
That's when you was at USA Flea Market, and they had the catalogs. You could just pick which number you wanted. Back then you had the cassettes and they went by numbers. Let me get that number 16.
Exactly.
And you knew it like that.
Exactly. And the slowed down music.
Slow down.
Man,
that was hot up there where you were in Tampa and Orlando.
Yes.
The slow music was hot.
Man, what a time to be alive. Yeah. Who were some of your influences from Florida?
From Florida?
Yeah.
I did like Poison Clan. Gucci Crew too.
Yep.
I was a fan of what's them boys had that song? B stands for Broncos, Benz, BMW.
So there was.
It was Nod. I can't think of their name.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, and it was a few people there. I think the difference with myself is that I respected and liked them because I was from Florida.
Yeah.
But I was always, when it came to rap music, I was always attracted and drawn to lyrical artists. And my city didn't really have any lyrical people that was in the forefront. If they were in the background like myself. So I kind of like, when it came to really listening to rap music, I guess the East Coast was a little bit more appealing to me, because you had the Rakims, the Big Daddy Kanes, and stuff like that, where they was actually dropping a little bit more depth in their lyrics, and that's what appealed to me.
So do you feel like, being that your music was different from the norm of what people were doing in Florida, do you feel like that drew people into you, or was it difficult to get people to get on board with you?
The latter. Difficult to get people to get on board with.
Yeah.
That's why I left early. Like, I left Miami when I graduated high school. I went on tour. I used to dance. I used to dance with a rap group.
Oh, okay.
You know, in Miami, we all dance.
Yeah,
That was the cool thing to do, if you could dance.
Can you still dance?
I'm okay.
Said I got to stretch first a little bit, you know.
Yeah, when I was young, I used to rock, though. Yeah, for real shit. But I went on. I used to tour dancing with this rap group, but I was always a writer, so I used to write the rhymes for the rapper. So and that's how we started with that. And then I went to New York for a little while. Stayed out there for him. Then I was in Mississippi. I went out the West Coast trying to shop some stuff with Easy, Ruthless Records back in the day when Easy was popping. So I've been all around. I just seemed like I could never really get that real acknowledgement in Miami, you know, because the type of music I did, unfortunately, you know, they would say stuff like, man, you trying to sound like such and such, or you trying to be such and such, you know, other than Miami. And it wasn't that. It's just that I was my prowess lyrically was a little bit more, you know, than just some booty shake stuff. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
You were more in depth with it.
Yeah.
Will you ever move back there?
Oh, yes. I've been back like 2 or 3 times. I love my city.
Yeah.
I love my city, yeah.
I know that's right. I'm like fiending to get back to Florida. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I miss it so much. All my family's there.
Really?
Everybody. I have no family. Literally, I'm here by myself.
So you was born and raised there?
Born and raised there.
Yeah, so I feel you.
My son lives there, you know, and he's married now. I just feel like there's so many things that I'm almost missing out on because I can't be there often. So I'm coming back eventually, y'all. Just giving y'all heads up.
Yeah,
so you were featured on CeeLo Green's Perfect Infections and had a song placed in You Got Served as well. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that. Let's pop his ish real quick. You know, you've had some big accolades. How did those opportunities present themselves to you?
CeeLo Green's Perfect Imperfections was a blessing. It's interesting because I was up here at the time because I would come back and forth. Like, I originally came here in 95. I aforementioned that I came in 07. 07 was my longest stint, but I came originally in 95 where I was back and forth. So in the time when I came in 95, I stayed a little while and I went back to Miami in 99, went back home. In 99, I got a phone call and I was running wild back then in Miami. But when I was up here in that little short period from 95 to 97, I was doing like mixtapes and in the streets, campaigning really heavy here. And I had this song here called What I Want that was on the underground. I didn't think nothing of it, but it was a hot little song. Well, I got a call in Miami from a guy who ended up being CeeLo Green's manager at the time. He was like, yo, is your name such and such? I was like, yeah. He was like, did you do this song, What I Want? And I'm like, I think so, because I had did so many joints. And when he told me, I said, yeah, that's my song. He said, well, CeeLo liked the song, want to do a remix of it. I was like, cool, man, that's what's up, man. He was like, we want to bring you up here, boom, boom. I was like, okay. So it turned out to be legit. I came up, me and CeeLo met. It was like great chemistry from the start. He and I started vibing, and we realized from a place of artistic ability, we were there. We were there. It was a good mesh, and so we just furthered our relationship. I ended up getting on that album. I ended up getting on that song, Micro Hall, and CeeLo Green's, that album, and it was good, man. It was a really good experience.
Man, that is beautiful because obviously CeeLo, that's a part of Atlanta history right there.
Oh man, dude is an awesome force to see in the studio, to work with. There's a lot to be learned just working with someone like him. So it was a blessing.
And you said you first came here in 95.
Yeah.
That's ironic because my first time ever coming to Atlanta was in 95, but I came up here for Freaknik. I had my son in 94.
I'm not surprised. Everybody was freaking in.
What a time to be alive.
Everybody was freaking. Yeah. There was the city in 95 compared to 2007. Totally different.
Totally different.
Totally different.
Yes.
And I stayed on the west side where everything was popping. So definitely.
Definitely. So with your music, it's been out there for decades now.
It's been out there.
Literally. How have you stayed so involved and, creative and motivated after this many years of doing it?
Loving and hating it.
It's a love-hate relationship?
It's interesting. I'd be remiss if I say that, I thought about not doing music. You doing this so long. I just love the craft.
Yeah.
I love the craft. Ultimately, even me now doing, back in it now, I love the craft to the point where I love creating. I love being a vessel.
Yes.
And a channel for that, whatever it is to come through. I understand my assignment. That's what it is. I understand my assignment. Thank you, Creator. I understand my assignment, you know, so whatever that may be, I'm not trying to, it's not pretentious for me. It's just authentic.
When God calls you to do something, you have to be obedient to it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like for anybody who's been doing something as long as you have, that was God's calling for you.
For sure.
There's other things I'm sure he calls you for, but
Indeed.
music is definitely one of them.
Because I've accomplished a lot of things outside of music, and I'm pretty successful in them. But the music has always been something that was so intrinsic in me, and it's like when I do it, that's where time doesn't exist.
Right.
I mean, that's where everything is just, I'm in my own little portal, and I realize that's sacred, and for that, I enjoy doing music.
It's therapeutic.
Very, very. It's cathartic too. You know, it saved me from a lot of situations.
Yeah.
And some trying times.
Most
Really did.
definitely.
Yeah.
So with that being said, all the songs that you've written and released, if we could shuffle through your catalog that's out there, which song would you say really gets in depth of who you are as the artist the most?
It's a song I had on an album I dropped years ago called My Negativity. And it's a song on there called The Autobiography. And that song really encapsulated me at the time. I really want to make it again now because there has been so much living wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and overstanding a tank since that time that if I did it now, it's like there are more chapters to add to that book. But that song really encapsulated me at the moment.
I think you should recreate it and then take it a step further and maybe do like a short film to accompany it.
Yeah.
Because a song, you know, nowadays songs are like this long.
Yeah,
Everybody's
definitely.
2 minutes.
Microwave society.
Microwave society. You and I come from a different era, you know, for sure, where songs were longer and people had more patience and everything is short. I feel like if you did the song, it's not going to give us enough because you've lived and experienced a lot. We need like a short flick to go along with it.
That'd be dope. That's something that I might need to put that into the works. It'd be dope. You know, I think the humble and humility side of me is like, nobody want to really hear about me. But then again, you know, my story might be something somebody want to hear because
Absolutely.
it has a lot of layers to it.
You never know who you could potentially inspire. And even if it's one person, you've done your job.
Yeah, indeed.
And I love, maybe it's because of what I do. And I know Carisha, shout out to my girl Carisha.
Peace, Reese.
Shout out to her, man. You know, we love hearing people's stories. That's why we do what we do.
For sure.
And I feel like if you did something like that, I would for sure watch it because I love watching documentaries. Because it really allows you to dive in deep and understand, you know, where someone came from.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's true.
So coming soon, y'all. We're going to hold him accountable.
That's interesting because I act too. And I got some short films out there. So I'm not far from that arena. So
See?
I probably need to present that to some director friends of mine.
I think that would be dope. That would be dope. And I feel like, too, if you have some director friends who haven't done like a documentary per se, that would be good something for their resume as well.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Something you guys can challenge each other with it.
Indeed. I think that'd be dope.
So coming soon. So you're both a poet and an MC.
Yeah.
What comes first for you when creating? Is it like the message, the mood, the rhythm? What comes first when you're creating, whether it's a poem or a song?
In the beginning, when I started, it was the song, it was the words. But as I evolved, now it's just either or.
Okay.
I can hear a beat and immediately go into the beat, or I can catch an idea and get with my producer and say, I'm hearing this idea. Can you formulate a beat around this idea? And then I can lyrically put it together. So it's either or. You know, it's no particular pattern.
So are you typically having your producer do custom production for you for most of your songs, or are they ever just sending you some beats and say, hey, scan through these, or it's a little bit of both?
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It's getting back more to, in the beginning it started with custom because there wasn't like, we didn't have the internet where you could go on SoundClick and see so many people beats. You had to have a producer.
Right.
I was a producer. I used to program my own beats and do the whole thing.
Nice.
So we was forced to be creative two ways. You know, now I'm getting back to custom beats because it's a plethora of just producers out there, and you want something that's a little bit more signature to your sound.
Correct.
You know, so that's what I'm doing now.
Okay, so let's talk about like how the era of music has evolved digitally. Because back in the 90s, we didn't have Spotify, Apple Music. Hell, we didn't even really have stuff like this, per se. We didn't have, like, a bunch of people doing podcasts. We didn't have social media.
For sure.
Do you prefer the way it is now, or would you rather it be the way it was in the 90s in regards to getting your music out there?
I really like the old way.
Yeah.
I like the old way because it was, to me, I think you were more connected to your music. Yeah. Now, only thing about now actually affords your music to reach a bigger audience,
right?
Especially the internet wise. But there's a price to be paid for that, from a financial deficit price, also to the fact that everybody and their mama doing it.
Bruh, that's exactly what was spinning in my head right now. Like, everybody thinks they can do it.
Everybody and their mama literally doing it, man. It's crazy.
It clogs up the pipelines.
Really
Let's
does.
be honest, because everybody has access for $30 a year. You can release as much music as you want.
Right.
There's no standards anymore.
None.
Regardless, and back in the day, you had to have a bit of a budget to be able to be an artist, because you had to get vinyls or CDs or
Right.
whatever pressed up,
Right.
where I'm sure it was very expensive in comparison to paying one flat rate and releasing as much as you want.
Right.
So it separated the people who are really serious.
Yeah.
Man, I'm with you on that.
That was us. I'm talking about straight from the studio. Now we got to go. You spoke of vinyl. Wow, I ain't do that solo. I remember we going to get the masters, because
Yeah.
we had to get the slaves. They, the
Yep.
master, slave and master. We going to get that pressed, and we going down to get the cassettes, and now we got to get the CD. I remember when CDs came. I remember. I'm telling my age now. I remember. I remember when CDs came. We was bucking against that because we wanted our cassettes.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, I don't want no CD. We was bucking.
Yep.
And then CDs came and they took over. Okay, we'll ride out with the CDs. So when I saw MP3s start to now overshadow and move the CDs out the way, I was like, wow, this is really, it's evolving in front of our face. It's like, wow. So I know what my parents went through when they saw cassettes take over 8-tracks.
Right. I remember them doggone 8-tracks too.
My dad had one in the car.
Mine too. My dad had what looked like a toolbox that he put all his 8-tracks in.
Yep.
I was young, but I remember that. That's
Yep.
what a time to be alive.
I know, right?
We have truly seen evolution.
We have.
Man,
We really have.
what do you think? Where is it going next? Because now we've got, people can stream it from their phones, their laptops, like if you got Wi-Fi or whatever. Where do you think it's going next? Do you have any idea on thoughts on that?
I haven't really put a lot of stock into the thought, but just off the whim, now that I'm seeing that they have AI artists, initially I thought it was a bit scary.
Yeah.
I still kind of feel more like that, but then I always try to be open to evolution to some
Right.
degree. But I don't know where it's going to stand from a human standpoint, and us doing music, because the AI stuff sounds very good.
It really does.
Oh my God, it's scary good.
Yes.
And now Timbaland has an AI artist that he dropping. Once one do it, they all start jumping on the bandwagon. And then hip hop hasn't even charted for the first time in many years.
I
on
seen
Billboard.
that.
So it's like, we need to pay attention to the signs. It's a sign of the times.
Listen, we have to get on board or get left behind.
Yeah.
Because there's an AI artist that actually just hit the Billboard 100.
Yeah, it's serious.
It is, and it's like
They don't get sick. They don't complain.
they don't call it. Yeah, they don't call it sick for work. None of that.
You control everything, and you reap the revenue.
And I feel like the young lady, I can't remember her name, but the AI artist, her name is Sanaya something, that hit the Billboard. The lady who created her, she's a phenomenal writer, but she doesn't sing. So she said that this AI artist is like an extension of her. And I now that I listen to her speak, I can kind of understand, because I could be a phenomenal writer, and some people are funny about that. They don't want to sing or rap someone else's lyrics. I don't want a ghostwriter. Okay, well, guess what? I'm gonna go create my own artist then. I'm not saying everybody should go do that, but I can kind of understand her point of where she was coming from on that, because it's not like she's using AI to write the lyrics. She's actually writing the lyrics and then having this AI artist sing it.
What happens from a concert standpoint, though?
Well, that's funny you say that, because everybody online is pointing that out. They're like, I can't go watch them perform. It would have to be like a virtual concert, I suppose.
A hologram or
like a
something.
hologram, exactly, or some sort of, because obviously there's visuals with this AI artist. They would have to have some sort of virtual type concert, I suppose. I don't know.
I'll pass.
Yeah, I'll pass on.
Respectfully, I'll pass.
Do you still dive into direct to consumer sales with your music?
I do.
Yeah.
I use Bandcamp, and I still have all my music is on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
So not all of it is streaming. I use everything on Bandcamp because I want you to be able to have direct contact with me, even with merch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's very important, and it's interesting. Me and some of my cohorts musically, we're actually really moving towards that. Like, we're trying to set up to where all our music is going to be at a certain site.
Yes.
And you can get our music, because the streaming is robbing.
It is.
They jacking for beats bad.
It's a slap in the face.
Oh my God, it's insulting.
I just heard something really genius that actually my videographer that was here, he was telling me about an artist, and forgive me, I can't remember the artist's name, but I think he's a fairly well-known artist. He was saying that what he does now, I'm about to spill your formula, but he spoke on it publicly. When he puts his music on the digital platforms, he only puts about 30 seconds up there. And at the end of it, he'll have a clip that says, if you want the full song, you got to go to this website to go purchase it. I was like, that's kind of genius, because if you only have 30 seconds of that clip and someone listened to it, that stream still counts for you.
For sure. And you've gained the interest.
And you've gained the interest enough to where they're like, oh, I need to go over here and buy this song. I was like, more artists should start doing that. That's genius.
Good idea. That's a very good idea.
It's like, you got to work the system.
Yeah.
Because the system's working us.
Yeah.
That's
a
with
good idea.
paying you a fraction of a cent.
It's a very good idea.
Absolutely. So, I think that's a great idea. What do you think that the role of authenticity plays in today's hip hop scene, and how do you keep yours intact?
I think authenticity is interesting you use that word, because I think that is the cornerstone, or should be the metric used in music.
Yeah.
I'm not into the cookie cutter replication of the same thing. Formula music is what we like to call it. I'm not really into that, but I understand the place it has to have, because it's from the beginning of time, even our parents' time, they was copying people's songs. I think authenticity is actually what keeps it evolving. If nothing is authentic and everybody's copying each other, then the music isn't going to evolve and grow. It's not going to stretch. It's not going to expand, and it needs expansion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So authenticity is at the utmost. Even if it's something you really don't like, it's authentic though. So, that is another branch on that tree. So
Yes.
now it's going in another direction, but it's still part of the initial tree. So I think it's very important. It's one of the utmost things, definitely.
Do you feel like with artists who incorporate that in their music are the ones that are actually winning out here? I mean, of course, we see artists that put out stuff that's kind of not my flavor per se. No shade to them, but I don't feel like they have longevity.
I'm glad you said the latter part. Yes. Initially, the artists that are more authentic might not appear to be winning. Appearance, visual, the illusion. But I think that they're winning musically. I think that they're winning from a place of creativity. If you're being authentic and true to yourself, and integrity is in your music, you're always winning.
Yes.
Always winning.
Absolutely, because it's like, who wants to, maybe some people do, but I don't want to walk around having to put a facade on.
For sure.
I want to be myself.
Because if that facade blows up, guess what? Now you have to be that facade.
Now you have to,
You have to live in that facade. You have to put that suit on all the time. And that's when the crumbling starts. The character crumbling. The looking in the mirror like, who am I really?
Yeah.
That's when everything comes in. That's when now you might be actually on substances to hide the true feelings, and the substances take over, and you wonder why this person is crashing out in front of us, because they might not really be who they really are.
Absolutely. And that's a great point, because think about some of these child actors. They've
Right.
literally had to play somebody else their entire life,
For
because they
sure.
started out, and then you hear about them later on,
Exactly.
drug problems or
Exactly.
mental health issues.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying don't get your kids started in acting young. It's not my business, but let's just look at how it can play out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We got to be mindful of that type of stuff.
You see it with artists who start off as kids too. Like a lot
Yes,
of times they
yes.
have problems transitioning as they grow. Because we still see them as, and I say this with nothing against them, but how many years we said Lil Bow Wow?
Right.
And this man grown as hell.
He grown. He ain't little no more. Ain't nothing little about that guy. That's Bow Wow now.
You know, so it's like we have to look at that kind of stuff. Like, wow, okay, it's interesting.
Most definitely,
Yeah.
100%. So you've spoken on events like A3C and universities about hip hop societal effects. Let's talk about that a little bit. What do you feel like is one misconception about hip hop that you always aim to, we'll say, correct?
The notion that hip hop and rap is the same thing.
That's a great point. Let's break that down. If you had to break down the differences between the two, what would it look like?
Hip hop is something you live. Hip hop is something you are. Rap is something you do, and rap is a component of a capitalistic endeavor, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what it is. But hip hop is like we eat, sleep, and breathe this. That's a lifestyle, and that's the difference between the two. That's why I never went around and said I was a rapper.
Right.
You know, I always said I'm into hip hop. You know, I don't even say I'm a hip hopper, but you know, I came up under hip hop culture, what it really was. I mean, like from graffiti to break dancing, so I did all that. You know, except the graffiti, but the break dance and the b-boy and all that. I mean, like that's like relic stuff. That's a gone art with the now nomenclature of rap music. You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't agree more.
It's just different. So it's like, nah, it's two different things. They rappers, great rappers.
Right.
Then I could tell the hip hoppers are those who really love the culture.
Absolutely, because I feel like the era that, you don't have to disclose your age if you don't want to, but I don't mind. I'm 51. I was born in 74, so I graduated high school in 92, and I feel like the 80s and 90s was such a beautiful era for hip hop.
Right.
Rap wasn't really a thing. It was definitely more lyrical music. And then, you know, maybe somewhere into the later 90s and 2000s, we started getting some of that Florida music that was coming out, that, you know, the booty shaking music and stuff like that. But I feel like there was so much more substance during that time than there is in the music that we're finding today. No shade, but you know, that's just my opinion.
That's real though. That's not even, it's your opinion, but it's fact.
Yeah.
It's a fact that a lot of people, they might want to argue, but it's a fact.
We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, it's a fact. And I'm from Miami, so I think, and you being from Florida, we how can I say, we have the authority to say that because I come up under the culture.
Yes.
But I didn't promote it.
Right.
I got down to it. That's what I went to school with. I had the Chevy with the beat out. I had the 410s. I all that. I done all that. But when it came down to creating my own music, I wanted to create substance, something that, you know, when you sat and listened to it, it can do something for you.
Absolutely.
It worked from the chakras up, not down. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people, that's going to go over their head. But you're right, though, because, you know, even though obviously I love my Florida music coming up, I recall loving a lot of music from elsewhere. Like, you know, you mentioned Eazy-E earlier, of course, NWA, Snoop Dogg, Taking It Up Top, Eric B. and Rakim, Mobb Deep, you know, the list goes on.
Yeah.
Tennessee, of course, you know, Memphis, you know, there's so much beautiful music that came from so many different places. So I feel like oftentimes I was more influenced by some of these other areas than I was Florida music.
Indeed. That's true.
I agree with you on that.
It was such a buffet and an array of different, to where you didn't mind if you had gangster rap, what they consider gangster rap, because that still was a choice. I could still listen to the native tones. I could go hear some Tribe Called Quest. I could go hear some Boot Camp Click, some Buckshot Shorty. I could go hear some Gucci Crew too. It was the variety and accessibility of other artists gave it what we call balance. What we see in the game now is an imbalance, and any imbalance, even in the body, is an illness.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's what the illness, that what we're seeing before us is the illness created by an imbalance. You got to provide more. I ain't saying what's going on in the culture now is wrong. I'm saying that if that's all you're offering, that's what's wrong.
You are absolutely right.
That's what's wrong.
And that's honestly from a male and female perspective, because Instagram has some of these women thinking that they have to show themselves half naked in order to get attention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? OnlyFans and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, you know, yes, you got a beautiful body, but what else do you have? You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the music. Okay, you've got this cool song, but what else do you have? Give me a little bit more substance.
Right.
And I feel like you're absolutely right. We're in a time where there's definitely an imbalance in this. And perhaps people who are younger to us aren't going to understand, but when they get to our age, they're going to understand.
Big time.
Just like I get invited to come out a lot. I don't hardly ever go anywhere. I'm like, at my big age, I want to be in the bed by 8 or 9 p.m. Some people are just now getting ready to get in the shower to head out at that time, and then they hitting the club at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I want to be asleep by that.
Right. Because you know the value of sleep.
It's so important.
You know the value of sleep and rest. I do too.
Man.
And there was a time when I didn't value it.
Me neither.
Now it's essential.
It is essential. I don't drink. I stopped drinking in 2017.
Kudos to you.
You know,
awesome.
like things change as we get older because we only have one shot at this.
Say it again.
Man, we have
That's
one
crazy.
shot at this, and I don't want to live recklessly. I want to live to be 100 if I can, or older, and not be in pain and have ailments. And, you know, by the grace of God, thank you, God, at 51, I don't have any major health ailments, and I'm trying to keep it that way.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. That's important.
We got to do better as a society. So you emphasize generational wealth and economic intelligence. Well, let's talk about this.
Where are you getting this information from? You're so on point.
You know, I like to do a little research here and there. But you are absolutely right, because let's talk about especially in this music industry. A lot of artists, all they do is make their rapper money, but they're not putting money away for their future to be able to retire or potentially pass on to their kids. What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely think it's detrimental.
Yeah.
Because the rap thing is not going to last forever. You know, you have to think long term. Even though tomorrow was once a now and the future is the now, you can't just be stuck in the now. You got to say, okay, let me put something away. But one thing I can say, I'm seeing a lot of rappers diversify their hustles.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. And
Yes.
they're thinking outside of just rap money and music money. And the youngsters are starting to get on board a little bit. And I always have to I give leniency because I was young before. I know what it is. And they getting way more money than we got when they was young.
Facts.
We didn't get money like that.
No.
I give them that. They get into the what they call the bag.
Yeah.
And I respect that. But it's our job to actually say, okay, you might want to do this with it, or you might, to kind of just guide them a little bit, if they're guidable, if that's such a word, if they're teachable,
Yes.
know. But, some of them trying to do it and some don't, but they really need to consider that, especially the ones who are having children.
Right.
A lot of them having kids, and I see how they're raising their kids like them. And the kids are mirroring that imbalance. And that's the part that's kind of concerning for me as a parent who has children, who has grandkids, because if children are the future, and I'm looking at the children, because they judge countries first of all, they judge the condition of countries from the women.
Yeah.
So you spoke earlier, the women, and if I'm from a foreign country and I come here and see the condition of my particular demographic of women and what they're doing, the majority,
Yeah.
it doesn't look too good.
Right.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
you're absolutely
It
right.
doesn't look too good. So we got to make sure that the first teacher, which is the mom and the mother, is actually on board, and she's definitely pushing it. But the first teachers, they looking like substitutes now.
No, that's a fact.
They looking like substitutes. Like, I don't know about that one. So it's getting crucial. But all we can do is just keep talking to them and keep motivating them, but show them. We got to ante up too. Me and your age range and those under us in their 40s and 30s, we got to really step up. And that's why I pushed this music called adult contemporary hip hop.
Yeah.
It was important for me to do that.
Absolutely. And
Very
there's,
important.
I feel like there's this stigma out there, and we're about to clear it up right now,
For sure.
that the only genre that cannot continue on, we'll say past the age of 40, is like rappers. Okay, but you said there's the difference between a hip hop artist and a rapper.
For sure.
Do you feel like that stigma is because what these rappers are talking about, that they shouldn't be talking about them things past 40? Is that why people are putting that stigma on them? But versus if you're a hip hop artist and you're being more, lyrical, you can continue that career on past 40 years old.
Well, I'm going to be very careful when I say this. To say what someone shouldn't talk about past 40, that's really not my business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I would say this, if they're still in that lifestyle, if they're still eating from the food of that food of thought, then that's what they have to talk about.
Yeah.
It'd be preferred if they didn't, you know what I'm saying? But especially if they got youth looking at them, it'd be preferred. But if that's what you entertain it and that's what you do, because rappers are narrators of their situation, of their visual.
Right.
They're just the CNN of the hood. You know what I'm saying? So they're just narrating what they see. Now, I think at a certain point in life, you should constantly be growing. Again, that's what I opine. That's what my opinion. You should constantly be growing, and you should be evolving and enhancing. And I like to see artists who actually are moving and evolving, because you brought up rock artists. Like, I'm a classical rock fan.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 70s, 80s. So, you know, we grew up on, before there was mainstream radio, we had to listen to them songs.
That's facts.
I grew up on Cream and ZZ Hill and all them boys.
Yeah.
So, and they got core fans to damn near they dead. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
100%. So I think that rappers can have that, but you got to have your audience grow with you. You know, I don't see the relevance of me saying things, or I was saying when I was 20, 25. And like you said, you like to go to bed. Now I'm like that with you. I'm like that. I got to be in bed at a certain time.
Yes.
I don't want to talk about, I'm not in a strip club all the time. I used to be.
Me too.
But I can't talk about that. So it's like, it's not authentic.
Right.
Go back to that word. What's authentic is just for me to speak from where I'm at right now, because you know what? There's a million people in the same position I'm in that can relate to what I'm saying. And the ones who can't, then you got folk who can relate to that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to please everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Nor should we try. We should never try to please everybody, because we simply cannot.
We can't. We can't. And you're going to stretch yourself thin trying to do that.
Right, absolutely. Because this particular song you put out, everybody over here could say, man, I love it. Everybody over here could say, nah, that ain't the one.
And that's cool.
And that's cool.
That's cool.
You have to put yourself out there unapologetically yourself.
Exactly.
Because I think one thing that social media has really taught us is that there's truly an audience for everything.
It really is.
Like, you could get online and do the most ridiculous stuff, and people are going to tune in and watch it.
I'm talking about 1 million plus views.
1 million plus views.
Who likes this?
The 1 million plus people that watched it.
When you look at the comments, they loving it.
They loving it. Like, TikTok is a perfect example of that, because there's so many niche related things that people do on TikTok, more so than Instagram. I think Instagram is just kind of a overall melting pot of everything, where TikTok is very niche related.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I find they have the mukbangers on, and the people sit there and eat in front of the camera.
Wow.
Like, there's people who love watching other people do that. I don't know if maybe it's because they're vicariously living through them. I don't know. So it's like, at the end of the day, just do you.
That's interesting you say that. I came across something on YouTube. I forgot what they call it. It's an acronym for it, but I'm into pets, right? You know, I breed dogs.
Oh, okay.
Just to put it as so outside of I breed dogs. And I ran across this. Somebody was saying, you ever seen that? They sent me a link. And there are so many people that like to just watch dogs eat.
Really?
And also people, they like the sound of the smacking. Like all it, that's some type of therapeutic
ASMR.
thing. ASMR. That's what I'm like, who the fuck thought of this shit? And it's like,
and they're over here,
and they just doing everything. I'm like, who would even think? When I was growing up, smacking got you smacked.
Smacking will get you smacked.
Smacking got you smacked. Like, if you got caught chewing with your mouth open,
right?
Boy, you better
close. They gonna smack you in the back of your head.
You know, like, that's like a big thing now. It's like, wow, everything it's a crowd for everybody.
There is, and Twitch is the main platform for the ASMR.
Okay,
they've
ASMR.
got, if you go to Twitch, they've got a whole ASMR channel.
Okay,
where people are on there doing all this and doing this, and you know, like making. And I'm
that
just
is
like,
insane to me.
And they'll have thousands of people tuned in watching them do this crap. And not to be mean, but there's no talent in that.
Man, that's insane to me. But I'm not going to knock it.
I'm not going to knock it.
They found their thing.
They found their thing, and it's probably making them a ton of money. So good for them.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So I want to talk about ownership a little bit. I feel like a lot of artists, these younger artists coming into the business, don't understand what ownership means. How important is owning everything that you do, you know, from the masters to, you know, the production? How important is ownership for you?
Man, ownership is important because you're looking at it from a standpoint of perpetuity. You know, if you own your stuff, then say for instance, I wanted to sell my masters. If I own it, then I can set my price. I can have full ownership. There's no percentages that have to go out to any other party that might have some stake in that ownership.
Right.
And it's just important to own your creativity. If I painted this canvas, I need to own that. You know, the gallery shouldn't own my art. So I think that's the most important thing. And, you know, some people coming into that understanding of that, you know, it's becoming more of an awareness of ownership that's taking place.
Absolutely, because I feel like now a lot of the older artists that were in their prime back in the 80s and 90s who didn't understand a lot of that we're now finding out that they were barely getting any money for their catalog, are now exposing that. And it's being talked about. So now these younger artists have the luxury of understanding what it means to have ownership.
That's right.
Watch these interviews, watch, you know, different YouTube videos. People are talking about it more.
Man, a lot of them older artists, damn near was living destitute, man. Because they had no ownership. And you be rocking to their songs not knowing that the folk living bad, man.
Man, that is a fact. But we know what I'm loving that I'm seeing right now is a lot of them artists are making a comeback.
They are.
I'm seeing a lot of my faves that were off the scene for a while making a comeback, and I'm like, yes, I'm here for it.
Adult contemporary hip hop.
Yeah, exactly. Any other genres of music that you're interested in tapping into as far as creativity? You know, would you create a Southern Soul record?
I would.
Yeah.
I'm actually experimenting with one now with an artist by the name of Grady Champion. He's a Mississippi dope artist.
Love it.
And he and I are working on a song. It's a Southern soul type song. I want to do like a classical rock joint too. I like that.
Okay.
I like country. Country is something I really like.
Yes. Can you line dance?
I can't. Well, my wife can.
Okay.
My wife is dope. She's a dope dancer.
Well, she could teach you.
Yeah, she tries, but I'm too cool now. I get my 2-step on cool.
I got you.
Drake,
Yeah.
I don't do that. Slide to the left, crisscross. Way too much going on.
That's hilarious. But that's dope that you're tapping into these other genres because it makes you more marketable.
I do.
Opens you up to a wider audience.
It does.
100%. And let's be honest, like you mentioned earlier, a lot of these other genres have sustained. Quick example, I took my dad a few years back to a Pink Floyd concert. And man,
he enjoyed that, huh?
Man, he did, because he didn't know. It was for Father's Day, and I just told him, I said, don't make any plans on this day. I'm coming to pick you up. And man, what a beautiful experience, right? That place was sold out. Mind you, Pink Floyd was popular back in like the early 70s.
For sure.
You know, we're talking 40 years later.
But the music is timeless.
The music is timeless. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, God.
What a beautiful concert.
You heard what you just said. Say that name again.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. What y'all know about that?
But listen to what they named themselves.
Right.
You see the depth in the thought. That ain't just vicarious naming, like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes.
Come on now.
Come on. Come on.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, their folk was on something. Even the album covers. I used to look at the album covers. You saw they had so much thought behind the creativity. I was like, yo, what were these people on?
They were like ahead of their time.
Very much so.
They were ahead of their time. So it's like, I feel like what we're talking about is it's almost a piece of advice for younger artists. If you want longevity, you got to create music that's going to have longevity.
Right.
That's not a right now song that's trendy. Not to say that you can't throw some of those out every now and again, because that's how you create your initial buzz, putting a real trendy song out. But then what about the stuff that's going to be still played 30 years from now?
Right. But you got to be able to project creatively from that place.
Yes.
And that sometimes that projection comes to you in the stillness of your mind.
Yes.
If you're always busy, if you're always on one, and like that's what they say, on one or whatever.
That's lingo, right?
You're so on, you're off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand that. You gotta understand that we had time to actually sit and think about things. And I think right now they're creating a society that doesn't think. They're very autonomous.
Yes, you are 100% right.
And that's the problem. While we grew up as latchkey kids, we had a lot of time to ourselves.
Exactly. And I enjoyed my time to myself now at this big age.
Yeah, for sure. It's important. I drove here quiet, coming here, just enjoying myself, just looking at the cars and thinking, just having that moment, connecting, so that's important.
I do that often too. I'll ride around in complete silence. I don't want to hear anything, like you said, because it gives yourself time to reflect.
It does.
think about maybe your next moves. All that stuff is important, and we get caught up in the hustle and bustle sometimes where we don't get time to do that. So
That's right.
being in that car is the time to do it.
That's right.
Definitely. What are you working on right now musically?
Musically, I'm just I'm doing this thing right now where I'm like on this 12-month marathon of dropping singles. I just dropped another single Saturday.
Yeah.
What's today?
Saturday.
Today? I dropped a song called Frequency, and that's just something I wanted to do because I got so many songs in the vault that were unreleased. So I'm just dropping them. I'm just releasing them and for people to hear. And I think the first part of the year I'm going to start working on me a project, another adult contemporary hip hop project, and really just I'm being very careful and meticulous, you know, how I want to do it. I just recently dropped the album with one of my partners. We actually are a duo called the Solarians.
Okay, I love it.
Shout out to Henri 360 and also to my super group of partners called Vengeance. But Henri 360 and myself are a group called the Solarians. You can go and check that out. It's on all your major streaming sites. Very dope album. It's an album of high spirituality, intellect. Is super conscious in that degree, and production is dope. And me and him, we really volley lyrics back and forth together very nicely. So I think those who really like Substance, they will really like that.
That is dope. I love that you like have a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. You know, so I get to I that side of me, I get to actually really be all in with that. And Red Fidel, actually, my solo, I get to actually be one foot in that and still be a little mainstream enough, palatable for those who might not be there. It's playing it right, you know. I'm palatable as Red Fidel, but you know, I got a lot of depth to me. But sometimes everybody ain't ready for that. When the teacher is ready, the student will appear.
Man, that is fact. You know not everybody's ready.
Not everybody's ready. So once you understand that, you come into that understanding, overstanding, and understanding of that, you like, okay, all right, everybody don't need meat. They need a little milk sometimes. You give a little milk when you're ready for meat, because first you got to grow teeth.
Right.
If you ain't got no teeth, how you gonna chew?
That's right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So let me give this little prenatal milk going on. You know?
Little formula.
Little formula. You know what I'm saying? Little something. And once I start seeing you teething, I'm going to give you a little rattler. You know what I'm saying? Let you bite on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Now you got full teeth. Let me give you this meat.
Man, that's a great analogy.
Yeah, you know, for real. Seriously.
That is really, really dope. I love it. If you could use your platform to speak or spark one global movement or a message, what would it be?
Wow, that's a good one. To spark one global message. As radical as I am, as pro as I am, as far as you know, my people, I definitely, above all, I think that we need to actually interlace our lives with the thread of love more. Love is the ultimate revolutionary.
I agree.
The ultimate revolutionary is love. And it took me a whole evolution to come to that place, because growing up the way I grew up in Miami is like, there's anger.
Yeah.
Getting treated a certain kind of way, you seeing certain things. And I never thought I would come to that place of just a ubiquitous feeling of love. And that's what it is. And it's revolutionary in itself, because it challenges even thoughts that you may have once had. Like, damn, I never thought I would think like this. Such contrasting opinions that I have now that I once embraced, you know what I'm saying? So I know that's revolution in itself. And then if people want to use Isa or Christ or Yeshua or whatever you want to call him, that's what he embodied, what it embodied. You know, it's just love, period. So I think love is something that should be exercised and, you know, threaded into the fabric of our beings more.
And do you believe that it starts with self-love?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because if I could get you to hate yourself, you're going to hate anything outside of you. Period.
Do you feel like people can be redeemed? And what I mean by that is either they grew up, we'll say, in foster care, and maybe they didn't never feel love because they didn't have their biological family there, or they started young out there committing crimes and doing stuff that it was wrong. Do you think that love can redeem them and bring them back?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think is that powerful of an energy. I think that is the God force or the source.
Yes.
That we call God. But also I also understand that some people are not calibrated for that. Because how will I know love if I didn't know it's opposite? And some people have to serve out the opposite. Everybody ain't fit for the love that we're speaking of, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You got to play your role. So I can't say, I don't, my assignment is not to go out and try to save everybody. That's not what it's about.
Right.
My assignment is to connect with those kismet spirits that that align with what I'm doing. And that's why a lot of people who are contrast, that they got a lot of people that connect with them because that's what they doing.
Yeah.
And when it's time for them to transition, they transition. If not, they could live in that. That's just what it is.
Absolutely. Because also too, we have to take in consideration, there are people out here with true mental illnesses
For sure.
that can't necessarily control.
But are they? But sometimes I think sometimes we mislabel that. We quit to say mental illnesses. We forget the spiritual aspect of that.
That is facts. You are absolutely right.
we
gets
quit
deep.
to say mental illnesses. There ain't nothing wrong with their mental. Some of them are just we have to understand that this caballo, this vessel, is like a car that we get in.
Yeah.
Like my car sitting outside, your car sitting outside. It doesn't actually become a moving vehicle until the spirit gets into it. You get in there, and then you crank it up and ignite the spirit, and it starts to move. So likewise, our bodies, something is in us. They ain't got nothing to do with your mental.
Yeah. You're right.
It ain't got none of it, but we could say you got a mental illness. Some legitimately have a mental illness. And then even those mental illnesses are really, sometimes the veil is lifted and they see more than you see. So you think they're talking to themselves. No, they're really talking to something.
Yeah.
They see that you don't see.
That could be a spiritually divine.
Spiritually, you know what I'm saying? Some people come, there are a lot of different people coming here that with different, I don't even want to call gifts, but different viewpoints. Different viewpoints, and it's serious. So I'm very careful when I say, "Oh, mental illness," because that's society quick to throw that on everything.
They quick to, absolutely.
Because you know why? Because that has to work with the prescription administration.
I was just about to say that. It's big pharma.
That's why it has to work with that's why I say the prescription administration. You know what I'm saying? Big pharma. It has to go in there. That's why when you and I came up in commercials was Pepto-Bismol, and they say what heartburn and all that. Now it's Afro. What is this? What they call it? When you it's not heartburn. It's called
acid reflux.
Acid reflux,
Yeah.
and all these big names. It's heartburn. It's like they got all these big names for stuff so they could actually prescribe something to.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is they don't want to get to the root cause of what's causing it. They just want to put a Band-Aid on it by writing you a quick prescription. Yeah. But now this one prescription gives you 8 different other problems, because they say it may cause death, blindness, this. I'm just like, what?
And people still use it.
And they still use it. It's so
they
scary.
listen to their doctor.
Right.
They listen to their doctor.
You know, it's going back to when my son was probably 10-ish. I remember the doctor said, "Oh, he has ADHD." I'm like, I don't believe that. I believe he's a normal 10-year-old who's an active kid. And so he wanted to prescribe Ritalin. That was a thing back then. Everybody's on Ritalin. I said, absolutely not. I'll just make sure I keep my son active and involved stuff. He started playing sports at 10 years old and never quit until he graduated high school and then went on to the military. My son is phenomenal. These doctors want to start them at such a young age, putting these medications in their body. And then you wonder why they do have some sort of potential health ailments or mental, because they've been on drugs their whole life.
Now, that's when I think the mental illness comes to play, when they want to put them on something early.
Yes.
Like I think even with the increase of autism going on.
Yes.
I think that's a big factor as far as the vaccinations and all the stuff they pumping into these children early. Come on, you can't tell me that. Their bodies are too young.
I agree.
Too small. They can't. You overdosing them. Something has to. The brain can't handle it. The immune system can't handle it.
No, they're developing diabetes at 3 and 4.
It's ridiculous, and they're not playing like you say your son were.
Yeah.
Our punishment was staying in the house.
Right.
Their punishment is going outside.
Yes. Exactly. Boy, we used to be outside till the street lights came on.
The street lights came on. I'm talking about all day.
All day.
You start off in the day, and your parents don't know where you at. You on a bicycle, and we had bicycle gangs where we in other parts of the city on bikes.
Time.
It was serious.
I was reflecting. I think it may have even been yesterday. I was like reflecting on before we had these right here. Like, what would it be like right now? Like, I was saying, because I found myself just sitting on my phone scrolling, and I was like, what if this didn't exist? What would I be doing right now? You know what I'm saying?
Good
like,
question.
I had to reflect on that because we didn't always have these. You and I came from a generation when we didn't have these things. So I'm like, I feel like being on there for hours is so it's counterproductive.
Yeah, it really is. Unless you're doing something to constantly feed you and grow.
Correct.
Like I used to be a voracious reader. I find that I don't read books as much as I would like to.
Yeah.
I got a very extensive library, and I got so many books that are unfinished and unread, and I aspire to get to it, but between work and can't put that phone down.
Yeah.
So now I don't like to do the audible thing. I like to read because it's exercising my eyes. It's my connection with the book. I want to touch the pages.
Yes.
I want to get intimate with what's going on.
Yeah.
But I find that I can't really get into it because I've become now part of this matrix thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm trying to like really break away from that and just go in the park, go fishing, or just go somewhere quiet and just get my book. That's so. Oh man, that's so. I love that feeling.
I agree.
I love that feeling.
Maybe you should like try to incorporate that into your schedule, even if it's once every couple of weeks.
I need to. I definitely need to. You know, I'm quite busy with my job, but I try to do that. I really try to do that, and then balancing family life and
it'd be a lot.
Yeah, it'd be a lot. Then, like I said, I raise dolls and stuff like it's just every body and animal is pulling from me.
No, absolutely. And I find myself like constantly checking like my emails and my DMs because that's where a lot of my business comes from. But it also kind of stresses me out sometimes because I'll give you an example. Like you and I have been sitting here conversating for an hour now. There's probably people who have DM'd me during that time. And because I didn't respond to them in 30 minutes, they're jumping back in my DM saying, hello. And I'm thinking, I do have a life outside of social media. You know, so I'm glad that I do stuff like this because it enables me to pull away from that sometimes because we need a break from it.
You remember when answering machines were real answering machines?
Yes.
And I'll get back to you. And then you get home to check the answering machine.
Yes.
And we didn't care when we was away from home. We was doing what we was doing.
Exactly.
When I got home, I'll check the messages. Now people get an attitude if you don't pick the phone up.
Bruh.
I literally sometimes just let my phone ring because I don't want to answer it.
Yeah.
And my wife be like, you don't see your phone ringing? Y'all see it ringing? Why you? Because I don't want to get it. That's what it has, an answer machine. I don't feel like talking right now.
Going straight to voicemail. I put do not disturb on majority of the time. D&D is going on straight to voicemail.
It's crazy, man. You need that time.
You do.
You need that time. It's incredible.
We have to decompress sometimes.
Yeah.
We live in a world where it's a whirlwind, where, like you said, we're busy.
Yeah.
What do you got coming next for us? Anything we can be on the lookout for that you have in the works before we'll say the end of this year?
No, we're going to continuously. I'll be doing a lot of. My face will be seen a little bit more. You know, I definitely be in the place. I'm gonna continuously drop music. I got some videos coming. I'm working on a script.
Okay.
Me and a partner of mine, we're working on a script, trying to get more into that aspect of creativity, script writing and stuff like that. But that's about it. You know, we got big plans for the next year. Come March, I should be putting on my own show. I'm gonna have a big show. I definitely want to see you.
Please, I would love that.
Yeah, I'm gonna really crank this up because.
Just make it earlier.
You make it at 5 p.m. for you?
Yeah, make it a 5 p.m. show. I'll be there front and center.
That is funny. They call it the old folks show.
The old folks show. Yeah, you might have to do a two-part, the old folks and the young folks.
I'm going to get some sponsorship from AARP.
Exactly. I'm going to come in there with my walker, you know?
Oh, Lord. That is hilarious. That might be a good idea, AARP, if y'all listening.
Nah, for real.
For real.
Definitely. Yeah. For anybody who will say is discovering you for the first time through this conversation, what's the very first song that you want them to go listen to get to know you?
Let's see, because I got so many songs that's great to me. I'm kind of biased. To get to know me, it's a song called, on my 555 album, the first song called Get Yours. I think that's a good song for them to go check out musically, and just that one and a song called The Takeover. Between those two, yeah, you'll you really hear what I do.
Both of them on the same album?
Same album.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like kind of a personal album for you.
It's personal, but it's not personal. It's palatable for those. It's not too autobiographical, but I'm very masterful with how I go in and out of the first person, third person.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be a me, I album. I don't even like hearing people. There's one thing about these rappers now is I'm such and such, or it's too much what you can do. What can you give?
Man,
You
that's
know
a
what I'm saying?
valid point.
What can you give? You know what I'm saying? Because like what you do is a take process.
Right.
What can you give?
So where you're at right now in your music career and the direction that you're going in, the type of music that you're presenting to the world, what do you feel like the consumers can do to support you the most right now?
As far as where I'm at, I'm gonna be honest with you because I'm always being transparent. I feel like I'm at a beginning stage again. I feel like I'm at my last beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. And I like it because I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I'm at a place now where, yeah, I'm ready for this assignment. Because I realized back in the day when I was doing it, and even when I had, I kept coming, I think I still held on to wanting to be a rap star. Or wanting, I was that little boy, still youngster, still, emulate. I wanted to be that. But now I don't care nothing about that.
Yeah.
I just want to present you with this music. I want to show you what I really do. I want to show you the embodiment of years of doing this and still be approachable. I'm not non-approachable. I'm humble, such and such. I don't have them airs about me, but my resume, I should be able to have those airs, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? That shit means nothing to me.
But I think your humbleness has brought you to where you are.
For sure.
Makes a difference.
But don't get it twisted.
But don't get it twisted now. Y'all heard that. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted. I told you where I'm from.
Nah, for real. So if I'm becoming a fan of yours, what would support look like coming from a fan to you? Like, how could I support you right now? Is it going to buy your music? Is it streaming your music? What would that look like for you?
Both of them.
Both of them.
Streaming my music. The biggest support is stream my music, but sharing my music. I think growing the music, and the more people that can be exposed to my music, that's the biggest thing you can do for me, because it's like sharing a word. And I think as people share my music, they will come more and more in tune with me, and they will find that it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then that's going to lead to actually you wanting to know more about me. Then you might want to buy some merch, or you might want to go check out my videos and stuff like that, because you can catch me I'm on everything. And that's the key thing, because I think the problem with me, or I don't even want to use that word problem, I say people just don't know about me. I think it's an awareness that has to take place now.
Makes sense.
Just share. Just become aware of me. I promise you, I'll do the rest.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that Instagram has that reshare option now, because a lot of people are now discovering new stuff. Because I see stuff come down my timeline, I'm like, I don't follow that person, but then I'll see one of the people I do follow shared it. It's free.
It's free.
It's
just
free.
If you're digging it, just share it.
Just share it.
I'll do the rest. I promise you. I promise you, I'll do the rest.
So across all your social platforms, including YouTube, where can people follow you?
Instagram, I'm at Red Fidel. YouTube, I'm at The Real Red Fidel. Twitter, I'm on X. I guess it's X now. I'm on TikTok. I'm getting used to that platform. I was kind of like inept at that platform. I really didn't know how to navigate it, but I'm getting better. Yeah. TikTok and Facebook. Between Instagram and Facebook, that's where I'm pretty most active at.
Do you ever go live on your socials?
I hardly ever go
Me either. I'm so bad with that.
So uncomfortable. I'm as much as I like to talk, and as much as I'm cool with the camera, it's something about that live.
It's kind of awkward, right?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
Like, what am I supposed to talk about?
Right. It feels so pretentious. It's like I don't know. It just don't feel right, But I know I need to get into it a bit more, and to be honest with you,
right?
Because I think it connects with your audience more.
Exactly.
I'm being told that by those who are helping me navigate.
Me
this
too.
Like, you need to connect more. You got so much. I don't know if I want everybody in my business. So
exactly.
I'm kind of private to us. Again, younger folk, when you get older, you get a bit more private. Now, let me share that with you. So it's like, you don't want everybody in your business.
That is a fact, because when I was younger, I wanted the world to know about what I had going on. I didn't mind if people knew about my personal relationship. Now I'm like, y'all don't get none of that. Maybe a little bit.
I don't invite people over.
Me either.
Don't just come pop up on me.
Listen, bruh, I can't stand it.
We don't do that.
Like, you know what's crazy? Because the house that I live in now, I've been there since 2020. Honestly, I've never had anybody over. Like, none of my, no.
Yeah.
Like, if we gonna hang out, let's,
I'll meet you.
I'll meet you somewhere. Because it's like, you just never know. You never know. You might fall out with someone, you know. You just got to be mindful.
And you being a woman, you have to be very careful.
Yeah, because people try to spin the block.
Yeah.
Definitely. Who do you want to give thanks to that's been loving you and supporting you through your journey?
My kids, my children. My mom is one of my biggest fans. She's always been there for me. Just in all, man, you know, I've been blessed in that regard.
Yeah.
Everyone my friends, my family, just all of them, they've always been supportive. They've always seen it in me even when I didn't see it. They always like, man, you got it. It's there. Even when I was down, even when I was, you know, going through whatever I was going through, you know, they was like, nah, bro, you got to keep going. Even when I was like, man, F rapper, I'm just doing my thing. I'm doing with all this other stuff that I shouldn't be doing. They were like, bro, you need to get back to that rap, man. That's what you do. And then I think what would really touch me was I would get people calling me and they say, hey, man, I was listening to this song you did such and such, man, and it just lifted me up or it inspired me. And I'm like, for real? I'm like, damn, you like that? It's like, man, you speaking to me on that. And this stuff, it's times like that and moments like that that made me say, hold up, man, let me do what I really need to be doing. You know, it's like when when preachers say they've been called, they didn't go to seminary school, they didn't go to none of school. They was thugging last week. They might even been pimping, and then they had an epiphany like Saul on the road to Damascus. You know what I'm saying? And like, damn, I'm a preacher now. You know, and they be some of your best preachers because they been for real about it. Not the one who went to school and taught himself how to get your money. You know what I'm saying? So it's real.
That's funny. It's so funny you said that, because someone had said to me that I sat down with the other day, and he's a little bit older too, and he was saying that, you ever notice that the people who get to a point where they can't do some things they used to be able to do, whether it be sexually, physically, now all of a sudden they a preacher or a pastor. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, I can't do this no more. I'm not coming for the people, but you know, it's like, it's kind of ironic. I guess they switched their life around.
They switched their hustle.
My last question for you, where are we at?
Industry's most wanted.
You got to tell the whole world what makes you the industry's most wanted.
The fact that I'm me, and the fact that I am the incomparable, and I say that to the bus out. You know, everybody's themselves.
Yeah.
I'm one of those definitely extreme Geminis. Well, you know, there's a lot of duality, trialities, quadalities.
I know about them Geminis.
But definitely, all I can say is truthfully, I'm very authentic with my music, my creativity, and anything I put out is something that I definitely extract from source.
Yeah.
And I do it with intention, and I do it intentionally. And if you like good music like that, if you like music that's going to speak to your mind and your spirit and your corazón, then, you know, fuck with me.
Fuck with them. Come see about them. I feel like some of the best people on earth are the intentional people.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you for being here today.
For sure. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I meant to ask you, can I use invectives on here?
Yeah.
I didn't know if I could use invectives on here. I get a little loose sometimes.
Listen, this is open platform.
Okay. I was just wondering. I was like, hold up, I don't know how mainstream this is.
Nah, listen, I'm gonna tell you, like, I want people to come who they are.
Okay.
And I'm a big person on when someone shows you who they are, you got to believe them.
For sure.
And I'm willing to meet people where they are.
Okay.
I'm cool with that. Nothing offends me.
I got you. Definitely that.
Definitely. Well, thank you for being here today.
Thank you. And I appreciate your energy. Was wonderful. It was great talking with you and just knowing that you from the Gunshine State like
Listen,
me.
the Gunshine State. What y'all know about that? Did you ever have Wicks?
Of course. When I first came here in 95, I was wicked up. Definitely that. I was a whole different looking person. I'm talking about what we call Loss, wicks,
Yeah.
day laws, all that. Only thing I never had was grills in my mouth.
Okay.
Because I always like my ivory.
I know that's right. You got any photos from back then with the wigs and stuff?
Some old, I got.
You got to jig them up.
I got some old photos of my mom. They all. I had the dread hats. Because I used to really be into Rastafarianism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't just wigs to have them. I was actually into Rastafarianism.
That's
really
super
deep
dope.
At one time, I was really with the Naya Bingies, and we was doing our thing in there. I was on my thing, smoking my weed in my chalice, waking up drinking cocoa water and callaloo and fish and festival and all that other stuff. So I was really, really into that.
Wow. I bet you that's something a lot of people don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a lot of layers.
You got to do this documentary.
Yeah.
And when you do, throw some of them old pictures in there. Or if you got some old video footage.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be dope. I'm about this damn big. So you see me with a heel for that.
Love it. Well, thank you for being here.
No problem. I appreciate you.
100%.
Yeah, I appreciate
We
you.
out of here, y'all.
All right.